podcast setup things. If people leave us, whatever, we can do that with just me and you. I've done it with just me and a guy that was a lower level than
So
me
I go to
lower level.
my match record. No, it's not my match record. I think it's my play trends. Here we go. Highest combo, 99 hits.
Hell yeah! What is up, everyone? Welcome to Damionpyro and ChillenCat's Nerd Talk Live podcast, episode 2. Yeah. So what we do here is we're just trying to get this thing started. We play a game in the background when we talk to you because we're not in the same location and neither of us really have the webcam set up yet.
No.
So the podcast will evolve as time goes on, but this is what it is for now. Alright, let's go ahead and get into this match. We have all kinds of things to talk about. I actually took notes this time. First thing I want to talk about is, so I'd never seen any of these freaking fake AI news clickbait video things until I saw this Charlie guy, Penguin Zero, I think is his thing.
Penguin Zero, yep.
Right. I saw him do a video about all these fake AI news videos. The one he was talking about was this fake AI Diddy trial video where there's all this fake info about Prince being said and spread around and stuff like that. Right? Well, here recently, I started coming across more and more of these, and the one that struck me this morning was a fake video with them saying Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, and Scarlett Johansson all quit Disney and went to DC. When they're all, I believe, supposed to be in the next movie. 2 movies, I believe, for Robert Downey Jr. He's supposed to be in both Secret Wars and Doomsday. Which is absolutely fucking insane, I think. What do you think about that, Cat?
Honestly, yeah. I can't wait for those 2 movies.
Yeah, me either. They're fucking hyped. But another thing, I actually have to agree with Charlie's take that I think these AI videos are going to start, congesting YouTube and ruining some stuff.
Yeah.
I accidentally did the spirit realm again. Oh my god, he didn't die before I threw it, but he still missed him. He blocked it with his fucking thing. Oh, I punched him back into it. Success. I got 1 hit on that spirit. So what we do here is we play games in the background. Right now we're just grinding TP medals and XP on Xenoverse, because both of us need them. I haven't played in forever, and Kat started playing the game more recently than I had. I don't know how long he's been playing exactly, but...
Since it came out.
I don't believe it!
So just on and off the game since it came out?
Yeah.
So you've been playing a long, long time too, then. Like I said, I played it back when it first came out, but I quit playing for a very, very long time. And now there's so much more stuff. So there was a few more things I wanted to talk about, but I'll have to get those popped up here in a minute. Kat, did you have anything you wanted to talk about currently?
I've recently rewatched Spider-Man.
Which ones?
First I watched, the very first Spider-Man, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Then I finished 1, 2, and 3. Then I went to the Amazing Spider-Man movies, because I'm watching them in order.
All of them, okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I just finished the second Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, no. I was so disappointed we didn't get another one of those. I know some people didn't feel the same about it, but I fucking loved that movie.
Yeah, me too.
I was wanting to see the fucking Andrew Spider-Man crash out.
Yeah.
Like, they can still make that movie. Show us what happened.
Yeah.
Especially after he talks about how he stopped pulling his punches. In freaking No Way Home, or whatever, right? Was it No Way Home?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking... That shit was lit.
Yeah, it was.
I want to see it. I'm always down for Spider-Man not pulling his punches stories. One of my favorite ones is the one where he freaking accidentally shoots the Kingpin's assassin accidentally shoots me. Oh, I got second that time. I wasn't even trying. I was talking. Anyway, when he accidentally shoots her, and then Peter puts on the black suit and fucking goes into the prison, flexes on him, takes the suit off, and beats his ass as Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And go, fuck, put that web shooter up to his mouth, told him he could fill his fat ass full of web if he wanted to. Shit was pretty fucking hyped. I have some notes to talk about later when we get to our.
I mean, that's the part that was my plan.
Yeah, that was my. Man, Bully Maguire. Fucking those videos
Hell
that people
yeah.
do with him whenever he was being a douche. Fucking crack the fuck. Those Bully Maguire videos get me every time.
Yeah.
So, here recently, I'd watched some episodes of Kill Tony before. I watch a lot of Kill Tony, but I never noticed that the guy that does the fake Dr. Phil and the fake Joe Biden are the same guy. This Adam Ray guy, until I was watching Something's Burning with Bert Kreischer. It had him and Brad Williams, the dwarf comedian, on, right? And both, I've watched both episodes that I saw of Something's Burning with them now so far, and it's cracking me up. That those guys are all hilarious when they get together like that. But I had no idea he was the fake Dr. Phil and that he had his own live show. Like, I'd seen him as a guest character on Kill Tony, but I did not know he does a fake Dr. Phil live show and shit. And like, Dr. Phil knows about it, thinks it's hilarious. Shit cracks me up. But I've recently been getting into those, and I've been dying laughing. Like, oh my god, I am such a comedy nerd, man.
Oh.
I love sketch and like skit style comedy, right? And fucking stand-up comedy. They're my favorite forms of comedy. I didn't even get hit in that one, that's crazy. Bro, I'm landing these consecutively on second place. Which is crazy because before we started, guys, and before we went live, I was not placing at all. I got third place maybe twice, and Cat was consecutively getting like first or second. And Cat's one of the lowest level people here. He's just got a really good build going on with his human female Saiyan.
I don't believe it! You're
seriously
awesome!
Or no, female freaking Saiyan. I don't know why I said human. Just saying. I have a female human race character and a female race Saiyan race character, but they're both lower level than her. One's 77 and the other's like 40 something. Good job. I'm ready. That always messes me up when new people join, because it makes me nervous, because I've had to, we'll become just a straight up talking stream if it happens, but yesterday it happened to me where, somebody backed out and came in so many times after I hit ready, that it put me in this little, like we're about to go into the mission thing, and I was permanently stuck there. And then when I got out, I couldn't go back into the screen. It was just me walking around the place. I couldn't do like the Kamehamehas and stuff, or none of it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I was just stuck with people coming in and out of the room. Crazy. Another person who I've been watching the stuff, he does the fake Donald Trump on Kill Tony, is Shane Gillis. Been getting into both of their comedy more. Cracking me up. I've always watched like the whole little group with like Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer, freaking Kill Tony, Joey Diaz, Joe Rogan, all their comedies always crack me up. Another thing I want to talk about, but I'll have to, just so I don't forget any, bring up my Shonen Jump freaking app. Has all the manga I've been getting into that I need to start getting caught up on, because I haven't read any manga besides One Piece. in over 2 months. And I'm behind on a lot of them.
Damn.
I was getting behind on some of them even 2 months ago because I was only like reading like Chainsaw Man and One Piece and My Hero until it ended. JJK up until it ended. Which I actually need to read the last few chapters of freaking.
I haven't read manga.
I got spoiled on them and just freaking listened to reviews after that. So I just haven't went and read them myself yet. I think there's like 3 chapters that I haven't read on JJK. But no, I love reading manga. I read all kinds of manga.
Yeah, I haven't read any one of them.
I read a lot. I've been reading manga
All I
since
do
I
is
was
watch.
8 years old.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I've read books, but holy shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I read all kinds of things. I love reading. But I found my first Shonen Jump magazine. Our school used to do this like Scholastic book fair thing, and they had the Shonen Jump magazines in there. And I bought one, and I reckon have been in love with manga ever since. I didn't even know the animes were manga before they were animes until then. That's also like when I started reading Naruto and One Piece and Dragon Ball. Because they were doing reruns of Dragon Ball Z. So that manga had already finished by the time I was 8.
You're really well trained, aren't you? This is getting fun. All right, let's do our best.
Combo bro.
No cheating, okay?
Don't hit the Infinity Z. How the did he get whatever? Spinning Kamehameha just like went all around him.
What power?
I just kept punching him, fuck it. They figure out a faster way to. Hey, there you go. I didn't place it all this time. They figure out a faster way to raise.
Here. You're incredible.
Friendship so I can unlock Super Saiyan God. I know I already have the 2 better versions, the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, and Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Evolved, aka Super Saiyan Blue and Blue Evolved.
I saw a video where you just pick the mentor and you pick a specific quest. I just don't remember what that one was.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up then. I'll fucking spam the fuck out of that quest till I get the mentors all the
Cause that's what I did.
Because I need to do that for that, and I believe for Beast too. Also, isn't there you gotta get max friendship with certain mentors for Beast, like Piccolo, and Gohan, and
yeah.
I think somebody else. I think Android 18 and Krillin.
I think it's just Piccolo and Gohan.
Is it just Piccolo and Gohan? Because when I looked up, there was like a list of like 4. I don't remember though. I'll look it up again. I've gotten everything so far unlocked except for the Super Saiyan God, the regular one, and the freaking Beast. I got the Ultra Instinct and everything else though.
This is the ultimate power hidden within us Saiyans.
I clicked the wrong one.
Seems underestimated. Stop with all this.
So, didn't notice this until just now. Also, when I made this character was before Jiren was even in the anime in English, but his English voice actor, I'm pretty sure did the voice for the voice that I picked that's on my character.
Oh.
He sounds a lot like the guy that does, because the same voice actor for Jiren is the guy that does Frankie in English One Piece.
Mm.
And they sound a lot like him. Like sounds in between his Jiren and his Frankie voice. You know, it could just be a guy that sounds like him. I could be wrong about that, but... So anyway, so since you've never read a manga and I don't want to accidentally spoil you, I won't go into too much detail, but I will talk about what I'm currently reading. I'm currently reading Black Clover, which I need to get caught up on. They've been releasing
Black Clover. I don't really like that one.
They have been
So you can tell me whatever about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into it more then, because they're in the end on Black Clover. Right, so recently, for his health, the manga writer, and for like to have more time with his family, he went from Shonen Jump Weekly to Jump Giga, which is like more like a monthly style one, but he doesn't do his monthly. It's like every 3 or 4 months he releases like a couple chapters instead of just one chapter. He does like 2 or 3 chapters every few months. And I have not read the last batch that he released yet. I need to get caught up on them. I was reading them every time they came out, but I just hadn't had the time for those new ones. Plus, I just saw that they came out like a week ago, and I think they'd been out for a little while after that. Shows how behind I am on things. Damn, I barely got time to charge up and do anything on that one. I'm gonna place really low.
God,
I can't believe I did
way.
288. Fucking damn.
I did 39.
59. 59, Cat. Don't sell yourself short. Bro had a whole 70 contribution. Yeah, but this shit's just been going by so fast.
I don't believe it! You're seriously awesome!
But I bet if you haven't already, you're pretty close to a level up, right?
I leveled up.
Yeah, see? This shit's been going down. Hey, baby. Will you go check in case he knocks? Because he's out there mowing and shit, and he might need into our yard. Because he said he was going to mow whenever he mowed his. I don't know if he's going to do it today or not. But in case he does, listen for if he knocks. So John, across the street. Alright, sorry about that, everyone. Anyway, so we're getting in the final arc here, and freaking spoilers, everyone, if you're not caught up on freaking Black Clover, you might want to skip ahead a little bit, but let's get into it. Actually, you know, let's give everybody a little bit of time in case, you know, you need to click away for a second for these spoilers. You can definitely come back. But
well done. Make sure
if you're not all caught up on where Black Clover is in the manga, because it's way farther than where the anime ended on it, okay? Freaking... There was another personality, or like another soul, inside Julius the Gratis, kind of like the whole thing with the elf guy and the leader of... My mind is blanking out right now on the names of the freaking... like the Radiant Dawn or something like that. The one that Yuno's a part of. Right? So the guy that was leading that, and then they had this like shared soul in one body thing. Well, I guess Julius was also the same, and this Lucius the Gratis guy, the other soul inside his body, has freaking... He started like a whole like villain arc thing. He absorbed the powers of like the other 3 demons, like Lucifero and all of them, right? That were part of the Dark Triad that was taking over the Spade Kingdom that they basically liberated. And we found out Yuno was like from there originally and shit. But he started bringing people back to life and doing all kinds of crazy shit, like completely rewriting people and changing their personalities, giving them extra magic types and stuff like that.
You're incredible.
And the last stuff I read was them closing up the fights with both Yami and the vice captain of the Black Bulls. It would be Yami's friend, the vice captain of the Black Bulls' brother, right, who got brought back to life by Lucius and given a second type of magic, which I believe was dark magic, which is the same as Yami's, but I believe he was born with light magic. I could be wrong, could have been the other way around. but I'm pretty sure he was dark because his brother has shadow, and Yami has dark, so I'm pretty sure light was his natural. But they recently wrapped up the fight with that, and then I know you said you didn't like it, but do you know some of the characters?
Maybe.
Okay, the freaking stuck-up rich girl, she's not so stuck up anymore. My mind is blanking out on her name, fucking, for the life of me. It's been a while since I've read any of this stuff, so it just kind of blanked out on me. But, the Silva girl, the water magic girl. Yeah.
I remember her.
They had to fight her mom, who got brought back to life. And they recently finished up the fight with her as well. And then Asta and Yuno were confronting Lucius last I read, so I'm sure that this is what these chapters will be that I'm needing to read here. Alright, my girlfriend informed me that Noelle, and she's now upset that I forgot her name.
Oh, Noelle! I know her.
Yeah, Noelle Silva. I remember her last name. Yeah. I forgot they all have like a name thing, like her older brother's Nozel and stuff like that. But I promise, guys, I love Black Clover, but sometimes I'm bad with names. Alright. Especially when I haven't participated in it in a while. I need to get caught up on Kaiju, which I heard Kaiju number 8's manga is coming to an end here soon. I'm gonna be really sad about that. Need to get caught up on Chainsaw Man. I am all caught up on One Piece and Boruto currently.
Oh, Chainsaw Man?
Oh, dude. I read together.
I haven't really gotten into Chainsaw Man.
Well, you said you only watched stuff. The manga is where it's at on that one. They don't have much with Chainsaw Man.
No, not even the anime. I haven't even seen the anime.
Oh, yeah?
So I just haven't gotten really into it.
Based off some of the stuff I've seen that you like, I think you'd really like it. But they would definitely need more.
Yeah, I mean, Denji turning into a fucking chainsaw guy is, cool and all, but...
Oh, no, there's more to it.
Complaints here.
Like, it's just like his personality and stuff like that, like the kind of person he is. That's why I think you would like it. Because, like, he's somebody that had absolutely nothing. He had no dreams, no hopes, no anything. His smallest wishes, or, like, his biggest wishes were some small things to us, like being able to eat a fucking piece of toast with jelly on it. But after he starts getting those, it starts, more and more things that he wanted start to come out. And you start, it's more of the real him. He's going through, like, emotional turmoil, like, because of the things that he wants are interfering with, like, his actual life. And he's upset about certain things, like the fact that he's basically just thinking with his damn dick all the time now. He's got a lot of characters. It's very interesting. I need to get caught up because shit was going down last thing I was reading. Spirit bomb for no reason. I was all melee for me in that one.
I don't believe it.
You're
seriously awesome.
Hey, I just leveled up again. Freaking clearing through these levels.
Fuck, I'm not.
See, I'm not trying to spoil you on too much. I've been reading some new ones, which I hope that they make animes of these 3 new ones that I've been reading, because they're fucking lit so far. So the first one's called Astro Royale. So essentially, this kid is like the son of this, like, mafia style guy. It's not exactly like a mafia, it's like some kind of gang, right? But like they're a helpful gang. They go out, they help people, and he had like all these branches and stuff. And he's the only real son to this guy, but all of these other people are like his adopted children. Okay? Well, that guy dies, and at his funeral, he gives what's basically his #1 adopted son, who's the best friend to his actual son, one item, and he gives the this other item, like necklace, to his main son. Okay, and these fucking meteors and shit start falling, and they're like fucking up everybody in the world, and certain people that have like objects that are really like something they cherish get powers imbued into those objects that transfer into them. And it's called, they call them their Astros. Like, the kid wakes up from the hospital and finds out the world has changed. Like, all his, quote-unquote brothers all broke apart the gang and all started their own gangs because they all have powers now, and some of them went power hungry. And his goal is to defeat all his quote-unquote brothers and then, you know, restart his dad's gang and freaking start helping people again. But his dad's catchphrase, because his dad was a bad motherfucker who never used guns, but he would say, like, my punches are like a bullet, and then he'd punch the fuck out of people. Well, the thing that he gave his son was a bullet on a necklace that I guess he'd been shot by before or something like that. And the power for the kid is infused in that, and it gives him this, like, super powerful right arm from the power. And his brother got a pendant necklace that turns into a shield. So one got the ultimate offense and the other got the ultimate defense. And both of their wishes were the same thing, basically. The main character, who's the son of the guy, his wish was to get the strength to be able to help people like his dad. And the other brother, his wish was to fucking get the strength to be able to help his brother with whatever. So he got the defense, and his brother got the shield, or the offense. And like, it starts off pretty crazy. I don't want to go too much crap, but like, at first you think the brother dies. Like, you almost feel like that was like what his wish was, because the way they set it up, and it's like, that's dark. And then some other shit happens. It's a very good read so far. Another one, which I think you would like, but they really need to make a manga out of it. I'm on chapter 60, and they are... I need to get way caught up on 101 now, holy shit. Last chapter I read was 59, but it's called News Exorcist. That was really pretty good. You'd really like the main character, New. She's got that anime girl like you like. That, like, the specific one that you seem to be more into. I know not all anime girls look the same, but you know what I'm talking about. She looks like somebody you would make it or play a game as a character.
Oh.
I don't believe it! You're seriously awesome!
But that one's really cool. She's basically this, like, spirit thing. They're supposed to be, like, these big pillar spirit things that everybody's afraid of, but she's, like, the only actual good one, and the other ones are trying to, like, stop her from getting revived, because they can stop them from getting she can stop them from being revived, if she is. And it's all basically a race to see who gets revived first.
Oh.
Essentially, it seems like. And then the kid she picked as her, like, vessel for her power, you know, he was not very good at stuff, but he had a strong desire to protect people, and she's basically helping him with that, because, like, he's excelling really rather quickly.
This kind of reminds me of another anime.
Yeah, that's a basic, you know, shonen trope style stuff, but it's still pretty good. And another one, this one, I don't know if it's made by the same guy or not. I'll have to see who the writer is, but it gives me One Punch Man vibes. But it's called Ultimate Exorcist. And this kid's like, you're kind of like One Punch Man meets Mob Psycho vibes. Which I believe Mob Psycho and One Punch Man have the same manga author. But One Punch Man is, I believe, that guy in the manga adapting an actual story that was already, like, out there, if I remember correctly. If that's the one I'm remembering correctly. And And then another one that I was reading, but it finished a long time ago, was Icehead Gill, and I just started one that was recommended to me called Kagrabachi.
Oh, that one. Oh,
yeah, I'm on chapter 2.
The fucking memes I'll see about that one.
I haven't seen any of those yet. I hadn't heard about it.
Kagrabachi, oh my goodness, the memes.
You can do a lot better than that.
But I was told it's really good, so I started it. I'm on chapter 2. I'm kind of curious what's up with these magic swords his dad made. That's all I really know about it, is some guys killed his dad to get his swords, and now he's out to kill them and get the swords back. That's all I know.
Me too.
Another one that I started is called Super Psychic Policeman Shoujo.
Oh, cool.
That was more of a comedy style.
Ah.
And then I've been reading One Punch Man. I need to get more caught up on Undead Unluck. I've been reading that.
Oh, that one.
There's another one that's a finished manga, or I don't know if it got canceled or what, but it's called Black Torch. I've only read the first chapter of that one, but it seems pretty fucking cool. He got like teamed up with like this god of Black Flames demon thing, and he's like from a ninja clan and stuff. And the cat, or the demon, takes form of like a black fire cat familiar thing for him. But it allows him to use his power and stuff. I need to get more into it and see what it's all about. But it's something that caught my eye, caught my interest here. And I'll start talking more in depth about certain mangas on the channel, because that's something I wanted to start doing. But also I want to avoid spoilers on things that you care about spoilers for. So far I got Black Clover that I can talk about freely.
Yeah.
As long as I give a spoiler warning. What about Dragon Ball? Are you up on to date on the know-how about Dragon Ball, Cat?
Yeah.
Yeah? And what's going on in the manga and stuff? You know about all that?
Oh, in the manga?
Yeah.
Again, I don't read manga.
I know you don't read manga,
but I don't have no idea what's going on. But
so like, you haven't heard about the like Moro or Granola or anything?
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, where Ultra Instinct Goku and stuff.
Yeah.
Black Frieza.
Yeah, okay. That's basically all I was basically talking about. I don't want to spoil you on any of that stuff. So I was just saying the names of it.
UE, Vegeta, and UI, Goku.
Yeah. Yeah, some stuff, and there's less stuff on that note for months, by the way, with like no really more development on what's going on about that, because right after that stuff, they did a short little couple chapter story that was
you can do a lot better than that.
Freaking like a little introduction to the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie. It was like a little backstory of Trunks and Goten, like while they're in high school, and they pose as these new Great Saiyaman X1 and 2 stuff, like that. And they actually like put that Dr. Hedo guy in jail, so like now we know why he was in jail at the beginning of freaking the superhero movie and stuff. And then they readapt the superhero movie right after that, with like a lot more stuff. I honestly enjoyed the manga readaptation more than I enjoyed the movie, and I liked the movie. I'm honestly mad that some of the stuff that they had in the manga readaptation, because the manga readaptation happened after the movie released, had more like info in it. It made certain people more relevant and stuff. Made more sense why Krillin was there. Stuff like that. Made more sense to why Android 18 was there. Only problem I have like that is the only reason Android 18 even followed him to go over there is because she suspected he might be cheating on her with his boss. Because she's like a female police commissioner, and I didn't like that part. It kind of like disrespects the whole thing they have going on, you know?
You're really well trained, aren't you?
Like up until then, that was the only good couple in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Well, I guess go on.
Funny thing is, my first ever anime was Dragon Ball.
Yeah?
Because my dad got me into it.
Did he start you with the OG Dragon Ball?
Yeah, he did.
Hell, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna do the same thing with my dad. I did it with Alexia.
Then my second one was Sword Art Online.
Sword Art Online?
I really like that one too.
Yeah? Yeah, I like Sword Art, but I have not watched anything past the first, like, half of the first part of Gun Gale Online.
Yeah.
I'm really behind on the Sword Art stuff. I need to get caught up. I just, like, there was a period of time where I didn't have access to the internet, and I was having to go over to my uncle's house to even get caught up on finishing Sword Art Online Part 2, where they're in the elf thing, right?
Oh, Alfheim, right?
Yeah, the Alfheim. And then, like, the Gun Gale stuff was just starting, and I was having to go over there just to get, like, one episode watched every, like, week or so, and then it got to where I didn't have a way to get over there, and then I just had no internet, period, and then when I got internet again, I was doing a bunch of other crap.
Well done. Make sure to keep training.
But I really like the whole concept of Sword Art Online and things.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty cool. One day I hope, while I'm alive, that we get video game VR technology to the point of, like, full dive tech. That should be cool to, like, actually go into the video game.
Yeah.
Especially for somebody like me who's, you know, mobility challenged due to my leg disability. Like, being able to go in and run, oh man. I can't run in real life anymore.
But I can run in VR. Let's go.
Oh, I'll be about it, bro.
Yeah,
alright. Be able to actually, like, get down, because, like, I have a VR, and I do like playing on it, but I can't play it very long because of my legs. Or, like, I have to play games where I can sit down while I'm playing the game.
Yeah, I got VR too. I got the 3.
So, like, I got the 2.
Oh.
I still think we can play games together. There's
Yeah,
certain games that I can't get. Like, I play this one.
You can't get?
Yeah, I play this one that's like a tabletop style thing. It's called Demio. I really like that one. And then I got one that was free that was called Cards and Tankards. It's like a kind of like one of those trading card style games. But you can, like, get the cards by just playing the game, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, make your deck and stuff. And it's really cool. I like the way that it's set up. It's got a lot of cool strategy to it. I actually need to play it again. I've only played it a few times. But I really like it. Just I can only play the VR for so long, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Had other things on the list to talk about here. I just need to remember them. You know, I haven't transformed yet because all this talking, and I was still placing. That's crazy. Maybe if I let them out, can you let them back in? Oh, I was, but he stopped mowing, and I haven't heard him come up. And you haven't heard a knock yet, have you? Yeah. I'm gonna tell everybody to wait a minute real quick here. Sorry, everyone. Have dogs needing to go out. They are attacking me for the potties. Good. I'm gonna go check on that real quick. I do have other things to talk about. Cat! While I'm having to do this, do you want to lead off? You either have other stuff you want to talk about, or if you have nothing you can think about, do you want to finally give your notes on your homework? Which, if you guys didn't watch our last episode.
Yeah, I was on 4.
I cut out.
No, I finished 4 and now I'm on 5, I think.
Oh, you finished 4, did you?
I think, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I gave him the homework of watching Pokemon Horizons, and he gave me the Eminence in Shadow to watch. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on. Hey, baby, I'm gonna go ahead and let him out. Oh, wait, you're done already. I was gonna go sit out there with him. Well. You're out. But if you're already out, heck yeah, go. Go, 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 go. Thank you, baby. Old man, get your ass back out there. He saw me turn around, come back in. He's like, well, if he's not going out. That's my boy. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and ready.
I was very confused the whole way.
Oh, the whole way through Pokemon Horizons? You have any notes about it? Or like what you've seen so far?
I'm very confused.
That's not the only note?
Kind of, yeah. I don't know what the hell's
Okay.
going on. I'm gonna be honest. What the fuck is wrong with that pendant and stuff?
Well, that's part of the mystery. I can't tell you what's going on.
Yeah, I know that.
You'll have to see, but you know, it's following the story of so far Liko, and then you've been introduced into Roy. At one point, we're gonna have 3 main characters basically. You just got the second one. Roy's gonna be the second one. Right, but you've been seeing Liko so far. You got to see how she was a transfer student to Indigo Academy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the method in which they got their Pokemon, which I'm assuming that interview they did that they talked about in the beginning is what determined what Pokemon they selected. At first I thought it was kind of random, that it just like everybody was just grabbing a Pokeball when they went up there, right? But they really made it seem like they predetermined the Pokemon department, or based off the personality of the person that did the interview, which I think that is pretty cool. Right. You get introduced to both the protagonist group and the antagonist group, so now you've got the Rising Bolt Tacklers and the Explorers. What's your initial thoughts about the, we'll start with the bad group, the Explorers. Like that Almethio guy. And stuff.
Shit. I mean, they're cool.
No complaints here. You're incredible.
Don't really know what to say about them though.
Yeah. You have any like details?
All I know is that they're probably just a better version of fucking Team Rocket.
Just a better
basically.
Yeah, I really liked his or actually it might be his main Pokemon. I don't think I've seen him. That Swirl Edge. I really liked that in the Scarlet and Violet games. It's kind of cool to see it animated. I like how they do its moves. The damn fire swords. Fire ghost swords.
Yeah.
Trained, aren't you? I'll fight you at a level that's even higher than Super Saiyan God.
Well, I Kamehameha went through
Lika? What? Lika, right? Yeah?
Yeah, Liko? Yeah,
Liko. Oh, Liko. Yeah, I already forgot her fucking name.
Hey, bro. I forgot the name of somebody on a freaking manga/anime that I've been watching and reading. I can't fault you for something you just started.
Yeah. In the beginning, when I was first starting watching it, I didn't really like some of her decisions.
Same.
Like when on the airship, but she wanted to leave because she didn't want to get them hurt and stuff. I'm like, I understand that. But that's just, I just don't like that. I'm like, come on, fight. Until she actually like understood, and I'm like, okay, finally. Because knowing Pokemon back then, Ash wouldn't do that.
No, but Ash was also dumb. Oh my God.
Yes. But Ash was awesome. I liked Ash. He was good.
I forget.
He'll fight.
The fact, dude, him being dumb is what entertained me the most in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, he used to make me laugh all the time.
Yeah.
And I think, like, Liko has a little bit of his personality traits. Actually, when I first started, I had a theory that she was Ash's granddaughter.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. Like, it was either he was his grandfather or his fucking granddaughter or fucking daughter. I was like,
Yeah, I mean, they still haven't showed who her grandfather is. Right, but they do show eventually her grandmother, and I'm like, I don't know, that doesn't look like anybody Ash would choose, so I don't know, but yeah, they could have just said Galbo's freaking Ash love theorists and been like, nah, he just married some random chick who like exploring in Pokemon.
Yeah.
All you Serena and Dawn freaking people, now y'all
Serena,
lost.
yeah.
There's a lot of people. I saw it was like a Team Serena, Team Dawn thing. I was like, I didn't even know this was a thing. But to be fair, I didn't watch X and
No,
Y,
it didn't.
and
If
I
I
didn't
remember,
finish
didn't
Black and White.
Serena like Ash?
Yes, from what
Yeah.
I understand, from what I've seen from people's posts. Like I said, I haven't watched X and Y yet. I actually saw they added it to Netflix, so I'm actually going to, just because it's one of the ones I hadn't watched. Because I watched Alola while I was babysitting my nephew and my cousin.
Sun and Moon.
Yeah, with the Sun and
Sun and
Moon
Moon was
series.
actually one of my favorites.
And I liked some of the concepts they did with that. I do not like that they've decided, you know, after all this time and all these regions he's already been to, I think he finally needs to go to trainer school. Shouldn't have been his first arc.
Nah, you skipped that crap, bro.
It's like, nah, bro, I've been in the Pokemon League 7 times already, but now it's time. Or 6 times, my bad. Alola was Gen 7. I've been in Pokemon League 6 times already. It confused me because I forgot about the Battle Frontier. That was an actual Pokemon League.
Yeah.
So that one doesn't count. That was the one I had as number 8, but that doesn't count. So he's or number 7, my bad. Get my numbers all messed up now. Got myself all confuddled.
I really liked I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, Z-Rings, yeah.
Yeah!
I really love those.
I like the episode where they went to Kanto and battled Brock and Misty with the Mega Evolutions with Brock and Misty.
Oh,
versus
yeah.
Z moves. Like, yeah, of course they're gonna make Z moves look better because...
I like Pikachu's ultimate Z move.
Yeah.
That shit is awesome.
Dude, that last freaking...
when Ash finally used it during that tournament at the end of the almost the end of the anime, he fucking shocked everybody. That was sick, bro.
I like that freaking in the Lola one in the Sun and Moon anime. Freaking when they had him against the quote unquote masked freaking trainer. That's literally just fucking Professor Kakui or whatever, however you say his name.
Yeah.
That shit cracked me up. That was an epic freaking battle though. And then I haven't watched Journeys, but I have watched like all the important battles. Like, so I've seen the Ash versus Leon. And I thought that was.
I've seen Journeyman. I've seen all of it.
So the one thing I'm gonna say about Horizons, because I don't want to spoil you on anything, besides like when you see Freed battle, like the Roy and Liko and eventually another person battles are gonna be kind of slow at first because you know they're new trainers, but you get to see them grow as trainers. And, like,
I don't know if it was this from Horizons, but I did see a fucking badass entrance from Pikachu.
Oh yeah.
I think. I don't know if that was Horizons or not.
Probably the captain's Pikachu's a beast. They still haven't got to that origin episode for him yet, so I don't want to say anything. But when you see it, you're like, all right, bro, respect. Because at first I was a little iffy about the whole Captain Pikachu thing, but then after you see him fight, you see his attitude, it's like, alright, you know what? Fuck yeah, I'm behind Captain Pikachu.
Hell yeah.
W Captain Pikachu.
W.
Right.
Yeah.
But where I am at in Horizons, I'm actually waiting for the newest part. It should be coming out towards the end of this month, the 27th. Hi, Farron! Ooh, we got somebody in our chat now. What's up, Farron? So I have a whole bunch of notes for the Imminence and Shadow when I get to and most of them are from episode 1. You can do a lot
better than that.
Episode 1, yep.
Episode 1 gave me so many questions, and then episode 2 gave me so many more questions. But most of my notes from episode 2 are just questions that I was asking, and like the way I did my notes is I made these notes like as I reacted, like my thoughts at the time of each thing. So it took me a while to get through each episode because I was paused, write my notes, and then resume. Yeah. And I adapted that style after in the first episode. I kept missing crap because I was writing notes down. Oh, you're good, friend. Yeah, good. You gotta do what you gotta do. I am not judging anything. This is mine and Cat's Nerd Talk Live podcast. Where we just talk nerdy crap.
Yes. Mostly Damien though.
Yeah. So you gotta get used to it, you know?
Because he's actually read mangas and stuff, and
Oh yeah, but you know, there's all kinds of things you can be learning about. There's TV shows, there's comedy, there's anime, like anything you can be passionate about, music, any of that stuff. You know, like that's all stuff you can nerd out about. Anything that you can be overly passionate about, dive into history of, things like that.
I just don't want to, get onto somebody's bad
No
side.
complaints here. You're
Oh, yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, because when in this AO, I was about to say, but I kind of kept it away. But I'm like, some people didn't like the new shit after season 1. They were like, oh, it fell off after season 1. I'm like, because I liked all of them.
A room had an error.
After season 1, I enjoyed all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want to say anything about it. I was like, all right, this guy.
Hey,
He didn't-
You know what? No, don't hide your opinions, Cat. Okay, we need these truthful opinions and stuff. Like, I get not wanting to get on people's bad side, but I'm tired of the internet making people have to filter themselves like that.
Yeah, I'm
you,
like,
you
I
enjoy
can't believe
something,
this.
you can enjoy
Yeah,
it.
I'm
If you
like,
don't like it, you
'cause
don't
I-
like it, man.
Yeah, I'm like, I
Everybody
can't
does
believe
that.
this guy likes that stuff.
Oh, well, like, I liked it.
It's
Shit.
like, I do, though.
Like I said, I haven't finished any of it. Like, I'm in the middle of the first season of freaking the Gun Gale part. Like, I think it's kind of weird that they're making Kirito go in as a girl character, but it cracks me up at the same time, because, like, that's some real video game shit. You never know what somebody's gonna be. Right, that's why you don't flirt with people
Same
on
thing
video
with
games.
same thing with Furin too.
Frieren?
Pretty sure
Oh,
that's
I
one,
need to
yeah.
watch that one. That's the one I keep forgetting about.
The
That's
same
the
thing
new
with
one.
Furin, because I watched a couple episodes and I got really bored of it pretty quickly.
Oh yeah? So that's one of the ones that's popular that you don't like.
Yeah, because all it is just talking.
Hey,
Talk
man.
and talk and talk. No fighting whatsoever. Well, until you get more into the thing, but
Yeah. I think that one's more of a political world setup type anime, which I think I'll like that, because I do like that type of stuff. But I also feel like, you know, in your creative works, you should have a good balance of, like, action and world building. Like, you shouldn't just overwhelm everything
honestly,
with one.
I honestly like more action than anything else.
Yeah.
In my opinion, of course.
Yeah. And, you know, and there's people that like that type of stuff. Everybody has their own opinion. But I think the closest way to, like, because, you know, you can't really make everybody happy, but the closest way to hit the most
that's
numbers,
true.
I feel like, would be a good balance between action and world building. Like, that's one of the reasons I like One Piece so much, because, you know, they balance the world building with the comedy and the action, like, fairly well. Like, it's never overly comedic in certain parts, or overly freaking, like,
Mhm.
you know, action-y. I feel like there are some chapters, and, you know, obviously you don't get this in the anime because they adapt several chapters at once, but there are some chapters where it's like you don't feel as much progression as others, but otherwise there's always still something good, and Oda always hides little, like, tidbits, and
Yeah.
that's something that, one of the reasons why I really like One Piece is because of, like, how he develops the story, and, you know, there's some things he's planned out for years and some things that he changes on the fly, but it's just the way he works it together. You know, everything's all connected, and at some point you're like, oh, that's why. You know, I love that shit. I love those sudden realizations and stuff like that. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
bro's cooking, right? So that makes that one of my freaking, definitely my favorite manga, and in my top 10 anime, probably my favorite anime, but I also have things that, you know, I'm a little close to my heart, biased on, like, Dragon Ball. It will always be up there for me, because that was
Yeah.
that was also my first anime that came on Toonami, and Dragon Ball had already finished as an anime, but they were in the Frieza saga and Dragon Ball Z, and right after Dragon Ball Z, they started rerunning Dragon Ball. So I actually caught Dragon Ball from the beginning, but my first thing I saw from Dragon Ball Z, I thought it was Piccolo. I knew who Piccolo was, but I'd never seen Dragon Ball Z before, right?
Yeah.
It was Nail versus Frieza. But for the longest time, until I rewatched the thing as a whole, when I got a little older, and we started buying the VHSs, so I finally got to watch it as a whole, not just when it would randomly come out on Toonami, right? I thought that episode was just Piccolo getting his arm ripped off by Nail, like several times, like getting his ass. I was like, man, this Frieza guy is crazy. And then, you know, we get straight into, it's not soon after that we get the whole Goku showing up and freaking getting put in the tank, and then the whole them struggling with Frieza as he starts to do his transformations. The actual Piccolo showing up, which, you know, I missed a couple episodes because I'd only got to watch it when I was at my uncle's after school, right? And, freaking whenever, I came back, you know, Piccolo was already revived and brought to Namek, and I didn't see him fuse with Nail. So I still had no idea there was other Namekians existed. So I was like, dang, Piccolo's getting his get back, right? Like second form Frieza, I was like, wasn't he just struggling against this first one? You know, I was like 6 years old at the time, so this is how I got introduced to Dragon Ball. I was over at my uncle's after school, I was watching Pokemon. One of my uncle's friends, who I'm going to assume now that I'm older and I know about this stuff, was, what do you call it on the internet? Very 420'd, right?
Oh, yeah.
He was like, nah, man, this ain't a real cartoon. Let me show you a real cartoon. Switch that shit to Dragon Ball Z. Dude, I still love Pokemon. It didn't make me stop loving Pokemon, but it did add a new one for me. I was like, oh, hey, I like this. This is violence.
Hell yeah.
Way more hardcore than Pokemon. And then, also coming on at the same time, around that time on Toonami, was Yu Yu Hakusho. So that's another one I got into a lot. Like, a lot of my first animes I got introduced to from, Toonami. And right around when I was like about 8, 9 years old, that's when Naruto first started coming out a lot. And that's why I started reading the manga. And at first, I only watched the anime in English when it came out on Toonami, but there was a certain part where it got toward the end of part 1 of Naruto, and it already started, Shippuden had already started in Japan, right? And I used to, at the beginning, watch Shippuden in Japanese, a part of an episode at a time. There's a guy I followed on YouTube who would put up 1/3 of an episode at a time. So I'd wait till he had all 3 parts, and then I'd watch each episode, and that's how I started Shippuden. I got all the way past the part where Gaara had been captured, and the Shikaku got taken out of him, and Naruto and all of them had fought the Akatsuki. I watched the whole fight with Sakura, and my mind just blanked out on his name. The puppet guy, I should know who he is. I remember the other guy was Deidara. Sorcery. It's weird I had to sit there and think about it that long. But yeah, Sorcery. So I watched that whole fight. And the last thing I saw was Naruto in his two-tailed form going up against freaking Deidara, and then Kakashi unleashing the Kamui for the first time, stuff like that. Right? Which was all fairly highly intense. And then I didn't have availability to watch it again for a while, because, like, you know, I didn't have access to a computer, which is where I would watch YouTube. Smartphones weren't really a thing by then yet. I'd finally got a smartphone, and it sort of started becoming a thing, like, real heavily everywhere. And I had got an A and B to The Animal I Have Become downloaded on my phone. It was a Naruto A and B, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I hadn't watched it yet. Well, I started watching it, and the A and B was the fight between Naruto and Orochimaru, when Naruto goes into the four-tail state for the first time. And you know, for the first time in the video is when I first saw that, and I saw Naruto's skin peeling off his face, and like the blood filling up the chakra cloak and stuff, and he goes into that other like type of transformation. I was like, oh shit, this is cool as fuck. And then I found out that, you know, Hulu existed, and they had all of Naruto on there, so I started rewatching Shippuden in Japanese. and at the time that I started watching it, they were already to the Pain arc. Like, by the time I got caught up, the last episode of the Pain arc came out. So I got to watch the Pain arc almost as it was coming out. Like, I had just started getting into the Pain arc as they were finishing it. So I had got to the last episode of the Pain arc. I had just finished everything up to that point the day that episode came out.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. And then, you know, I was waiting week to week after that. And then I had to get Hulu Plus because that thing started, and they started like, yeah, we got another episode for y'all, but you have to have Hulu Plus to get the newest episode. Otherwise, you'll have to wait another week.
Oh, yeah.
And now you have to have Hulu Plus just to use it, period.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah. But, you know, it's grown. I still kind of miss having
I
a shit ton of
Naruto.
ads for Hulu. Because it was, like, still less ads than TV.
I enjoyed Naruto.
I did, too. And that's also where I got caught up on Bleach. Because I had watched Bleach on Toonami, but they... My first episode of Bleach was in the Ronkar arc. So I was already in Wako Mundo and shit. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, this is kind of cool though. And then I found it on Hulu and I was like, alright, time to watch it from the beginning. It's actually Hulu's where I started watching Black Clover.
Another
too.
thing about Naruto is that Boruto one.
Yeah, Boruto.
And that nobody really liked.
Yeah, I've heard mixed reactions about it. So I also have mixed reactions about it. I like Boruto. I read the manga. The manga,
Yeah,
way
I
better.
really enjoyed Boruto.
Yeah, the manga is way better pacing-wise, but I do like some of the anime canon stuff because it's not just all filler. They introduced a new concept for Boruto called anime canon. So it's canon to the story of Boruto, but it's only in the anime. You don't get to see these parts in the manga.
Yeah,
And a lot of it's fleshing out the other characters besides Team 7 and stuff. Because the manga basically starts right around the tuning exams and stuff. Like, the manga doesn't go in as depth on some of the beginning crap as the anime did. And I liked a lot of that stuff in the anime. But I do agree that having a show that the manga canon in it is only about 20% of the show is a bit ridiculous, just to keep it going week to week. Yeah, I do hope when they bring it back, it'll be seasonal, you know, for when they start adapting, like, to Blue Vortex and stuff like that. That would be a lot better. That way, you know, pacing-wise, they can keep up pretty well, and they don't have to worry about fucking, you know, getting to where they were waiting for more manga to come out because they didn't have any more stories, so then they started just pumping it full of actual filler. Which, that should have got a bit heavy. So before I go back into this grind, I do want to go ahead, because I probably won't have much to talk about after this, and we can just kind of get back into it. I should just invite you to a team here, and then we'll disband the team whenever we go into it.
Yeah, since we're talking about Bleach, I haven't seen
Oh yeah,
Bleach,
before I go to my notes.
but I've seen the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, though.
Oh. Have
Both
you now?
1 and 2.
That's Cat. That's
But
Cat.
I
was
do-
responding to him. Sorry.
But I do know some of the stuff from actual Bleach. About Aizen and stuff.
Yeah, what about Aizen?
And
was a great
where
character.
how Ichigo first became all this stuff. I do know some stuff about that. Some stuff.
Here, let me go ahead and invite you to a team.
Oh, there's some other animes I've seen. Have you seen Akame ga Kill?
I have not seen that one, but I heard it's pretty good.
I really enjoyed it.
Have you seen Assassination Classroom?
Yes.
I
Oh,
love-
Assassination Oh my god, I fucking love that one.
Dude, same.
Oh, dude, Karma.
Freaking, oh, dude, freaking the Sensei, man. He's my favorite one.
Kuro Sensei.
Kuro Sensei.
Dude, Karma's my favorite.
Yeah? That makes
Yeah.
sense. That tracks. That tracks. Figure I'd just add you to the team while we're flying around and talking and stuff. Maybe do a couple parallel quests before we go back into just grinding. I'll finish up and change the podcast to a grind, or from the podcast to a grind.
There needs to be
stream
more
after
for
we finish up.
Assassination Classroom.
Yeah, another one I'm waiting for more of, but I get that the mangaka, he's the same guy that wrote Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't know if you know this, writes Hunter x Hunter. Right?
Oh my god.
And I think
That's basically my profile picture.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And so, essentially, oh yeah, that's right, you got the vacuum chick from, that's right.
Yes, is Shizuku.
Right. But, essentially, freaking,
My favorite, bro.
he is currently in the same position with Hunter x Hunter that he was in with Yu Yu Hakusho, only he's freaking batting down the hatches and trying to stick in as long as he can for Hunter x Hunter. So, we got a rushed ending of Yu Yu Hakusho in the manga because of his health was declining and he was having a lot of problems with his back and things like that. Because they overwork mangaka. And it's becoming a better situation all around for mangaka now, because there's been a lot of people getting vocal about it after, you know, hearing about all these health issues. It's like, we'd rather these people take care of their health and have to wait a little longer for our story content than these people die before they get to finish their story, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So, alright, Farron, I'll check that out after the podcast. Since we are live, I can't stop and check that mid-podcast. If it was a normal live stream, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But we're trying to fill this as much information and less dead space as we possibly can. But, so the Hunter x Hunter manga has been, like, very slowly releasing things, but I would like them to continue to adapt more of the anime, because there is a lot more of the manga that hasn't been adapted yet. Right?
Yeah.
There's just, like, very heavy amounts, and yeah, okay, so Gon's not currently powered up even in the manga still, but there's still a lot to go on, and there's a lot of crap with Kurapika and stuff.
I like Killua.
Killua
Killua is my favorite.
Yeah. See, and I'm really hoping, because he has a few different endings planned, I'm really hoping that he is able to, like, actually finish it and not have to have, like, a sudden released ending for the show, right? And then people have to fill in the crap in between. Because I would like to see where he goes, because, like, the only of his 4 endings he's talked about a little bit implies that at some point Gon gets his powers back.
Yeah.
And I would like to see that. I would very much like to see that. See, right now they're going towards, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but all I'm going to say is they're going towards somewhere called the Dark Continent.
Oh, Jesus.
And stuff is getting crazy. They introduced something called Nin Beasts and stuff like that. It's getting lit.
Damn.
Right? Oh, another thing, I've never read the manga, and I would really like to. I need to find it at some point. But I have read... Wow, this guy's really named Diddy. Sorry for the distraction. This guy really named himself Diddy, but freaking, the Toriko anime, which I have only seen up to where the English anime ended. I would like to watch it because I am invested in the story, but I'm going to be 100% real with you. The only reason I watched Toriko was specifically in English. The guy they had as the voice actor to do the intros, they explained these food islands. Man, made me crave food that doesn't exist. Okay, just the way he described this shit, like his tone of voice and everything, bro, would get us fucking hyped for these episodes. Like, yeah, bro, let me go to the fucking 7 ramen islands and stuff like that.
Oh my god.
Like, because in Toriko, it's about, it actually takes place in the same world as Hunter x Hunter, but it's a different writer, right? It's about the, you remember in Hunter x Hunter in the beginning when they're taking the hunter exam, those gourmet hunters that were introduced?
Yeah.
It's about people from their world, but Toriko and his group are like top of the top gourmet hunters. Okay, they have something called gourmet cells, which can only increase in power by them eating better and better food. And actually, there's one point where Toriko has to fast to push his power through to a new level, but he has to fast to the point where he almost dies from his own gourmet cells. And then he has to eat something that's like the best thing he's ever eaten. And goes into what I call Super Toriko, because he's both a parody of Goku and like other freaking similar protagonist, whereas like Goku color freaking clothes and stuff like that, with the orange and
Mhm.
black and blue, has blue hair, shit like that. But you know, at the same time, he also has his own unique stuff. Like a lot of their fighting techniques are like based off of like utensils and stuff in the world, or certain things. Like for example,
Mhm.
fork and knife are like his main abilities, where he can like literally like puncture stuff with his energy, or like send out flying blades with knife and stuff like that, or cut something with his hand. But his main attack is something called the spiked punch, where it'll like show when he punches, it'll show like this little animation of like nails getting driven in. But what it does
Yeah.
is, how many ever times he multiplies his punch over, when he hits you with that punch, you then get hit that many times from a single punch.
Mhm.
It's like the punch keeps punching you after you've been punched. So he'll hit you, he'll make physical contact with you one time and you'll get hit 30 times.
Damn.
Yeah, shit like that. When they first really show off like a heavy one, it's to get through this wall. He does a 5-fold spike punch. Punches the wall one time really good, puts a dent in it, and then it keeps going and just bam, 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 and tunnels through the fucking wall.
Damn.
It's like, holy shit, okay. Alright, play it. But the biggest one I've seen so far is a 30 times spike punch that he does on the anime. But I need to get, I heard the anime wasn't finished, but I do need to get caught up to what they had. Alright, so before we get switched up and go back into our Xenoverse grind, because me and Kat need more TP medals and XP, let's be real here, I am going to go ahead and bring up my freaking notes for Imminence and Shadow, because I...
Oh, the cat. Oh, hey, oh man, I can't wait to hear him.
Yeah, where you at, Kat? Let's stand by you at least. Yo, Kat. What kind of poses you got, son? Get a
Kind of
fusion
poses?
dance. Yeah, bro,
Yeah,
when
I
you
got
hit
fusion. Uh,
R1.
Yeah, I got poses.
Yeah.
I got almost all of them. I think I have all of them.
You got the fusion, bro? I'll do right, you do left.
Let me find it.
See if we can line up properly.
I'll do right, you do left. Is this what you said?
Yeah, I'll do right, you do left. Yeah.
Oh, I do left.
Because of the side we're on, yeah. It wouldn't look right if we did it the other way. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Fusion!
Oh, we did
Oh,
that
my-
right.
Yeah.
But hey, we almost lined it
kidding.
up. Our fingers aren't touching though, because you're taller than me. But hey, close enough. Alright, so these are my notes that I took in Imminence and Shadow. These notes were taken as I reacted, so some of these realizations were made after I'd already gotten certain information. These were all questions before I got the information. So, these are for episodes 1 and 2, which is all I got through so far, but I did make heavy amounts of notes. So, starting off with that flashback was interesting, and I didn't realize till later how dark that flashback was when they introduced Nishino, who I thought was the main character, the way they started that off.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the starting dialogue was kind of off-putting for me, mostly just because, like, it seemed like Nishino and those other random girls they had in the school and stuff, it seemed like their voice acting was kind of flat. Kagano's first line was like a godsend because he was the only one that sounded like he had actual voice acting skills.
Mm-hmm.
So I did enjoyed his dialogue. I did like Nishino's inside voice. I found that hilarious. All her inside dialogue, you know, and her being mad at Kagano because he always looked like he looked right through her and never got her name right. Stuff like that. That shit used to crack me up. I did put a note more pertaining to Nishino and those other girls. I was not a big fan of the voice acting in episode 1. Really, the only two voice actors like I liked voice acting wise in episode 1, and it may change in the Japanese. You did recommend the dub, so I am watching in the dub. So this is my opinion of the dub voice acting. I only liked him and the one the cockier bad guy. Not the ex-military guy. His shit was kind of flat landing, too. But the other guy and him had like really good dialogue, and Nishino's voice actress got better as the episode progressed. So I did make a note of that. I love the fact that they had Kagano playing the Moonlight Sonata on piano. I don't know if you know, but I have a audio series called The Shadow of Umber City, and that's like my main background theme for all my episodes, is just a slightly edited version of Moon Knight Sonata. In fact, my intro is the part of the song playing correctly, reversing, and then going into the full song in the correct direction.
Dang.
Music-wise. And I do a lot of MuseScore Studio and stuff like that, so like I like to make my own stuff. But that is a song that was in free domain because it's, you know, a really old song, so nobody can like copyright me on that. So, and the tone fit my story, so I like that, and it's one of my favorite freaking sonatas. So that also helped. And then they played that on the piano, and I was like, that sounds oddly familiar. And then it like got deeper into it, and then the subtitle popped up saying Moonlight Sonata, and I was like, I fucking knew it. But I was just in love with that whole little montage up until she gets kidnapped, and then this is where it started getting racy. Okay, so my exact notes right now are freaking. I did not expect her driver to get beat out of him when she was about to leave the school. That kind of took me off tone, not gonna lie. I thought it was kind of like a high school drama anime at first, the way they were making stuff seem. Right? I'm not a big fan of like the high school drama stuff, so at first I was like, especially with Nishino, Akane Nishino, and Kagano, who I don't know his first name, but I do know he goes by Shadow and freaking
Sid Kagano.
His Sid Kagano. Okay, see, I didn't catch them saying that name yet, so I don't know if they've introduced his actual name yet, unless I missed it in episode 2. I know in episode 1 they didn't say his first name at all, though.
Yeah, he goes by Shadow.
yeah. See, that part I got in episode 2. I am interested. Yeah, I put that I'm interested in the scandal she was talking about. Obviously, this was before we found out about the scandal. All right. I don't like that Akane seems so worried about how other people view her. Right? Like just really heavily about that, but it makes sense after what happens. Okay. After she gets kidnapped, I didn't like the rapey undertones, but now I knew what the first scandal was, that she got kidnapped and raped, basically. Poor girl, though, getting kidnapped twice like that by people. And the moment that he grabs her mouth and was like, alright, let's do something about that attitude, I'm going to start with your pretty little mouth, I was like, whoa, bro, what do you have me watching? And then, bam, glass breaks, Kagano comes down with the mask on and everything, and I'm like, okay, I see where we're going here. I really liked how Kagano was acting. I liked his whole crowbar fighting style and stuff.
Yeah.
Here's my exact notes for it. I really like Kagano. Reminds me of Spider-Man with the way he shit-talks while fighting people while he's in vigilante mode. I like how he started off throwing glass like a throwing knife to disarm the guy with the fucking gun, and then this was a note that I made as soon as he busted out those crowbars. Like, bro is insane with those crowbars, and the Baklava Berserker sounds like a badass nickname. Why is he going by the stylish freaking vigilante? I put, is bro a serial killer vigilante ninja thing, question mark? What is the Imminence of Shadow? Why does he seem to be so obsessed with it? Apparently he doesn't feel like he's skilled enough to be whatever the Imminence of Shadow is, according to Kagano
the name
himself.
of his. I'm pretty sure that's the name of his group.
Yeah.
The Imminence and Shadow, because his name is Shadow.
Yeah. So I think the group's called Shadow Garden.
Oh yeah, it's one of the two, but yeah.
Yeah. Because from what I've gathered, he's trying to become the Imminence and Shadow, and he still doesn't feel worthy of being the Imminence and Shadow. Alright. I do like her reflection of like how he is after she finally starts talking to him after getting kidnapped, not realizing he was the one who's saying it. And I thought it was funny that her saying that he is like her and lives behind a mask is like really funny, because she had no idea like how behind a mask he was living. Like, man was straight up a vigilante, right? And then this is where it gets crazy. I did not see him getting hit by a truck all of a sudden at the end of the episode coming at all. Like, holy shit. I was excited and hyped for the first episode because I thought maybe he was going to be, like, the actual main character at that moment. And, you know, now I know for sure he's the actual main character because
Yeah, because he died and he got reincarnated.
But in episode 1, I was like, damn, son. So this girl's the main character. This guy saves her and then gets fucking killed episode 1. That's hype. And then we get down to my notes for episode 2. First note for episode 2. This feels like a completely different anime. It's kind of trippy. Who the hell is Alpha?
Alpha, yeah, that's the first girl he saves.
Why did they spell Kagano's name different now? This Cult of Diablos thing they're talking about sounds cool. Same question, what is the Eminence and Shadow that he wants to become? Also, the intro music is freaking fire. And then it cuts back to the second scene. I was like, yo, did he really die for real? And are we back in time now? Because it showed him as a baby. And then that's when I realized. And then, oh, first I asked, what is with Alpha and the other elf girl? Like, what's up with the elf girls? Because they had the other elf girl come up and talk to him. They both had elf ears, so I was like, what's up with that? And I was like, so bro didn't cry as a baby, then suddenly, oh, wait, this is a reincarnated anime, and that was his soul entering his body. Got it, it's an isekai. And I was like, man, not a really big fan of the isekai animes, but so far, I'm rocking with this one. I'm just not a big fan of the whole I died and got reincarnated thing. That being said, one of my favorite anime, or not anime, but manga, and I really think they should make an anime of this. I know it's really short. It'd probably only be like a 12-episode anime, but it would be fucking hilarious. Is that time I got reincarnated as Yamcha.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, that is a great manga. Oh my god, I laughed at almost every turn, and honestly, it looks like they could have took it in a serious story direction, because like this guy woke up as Yamcha, but then he took training and stuff more seriously and became a really strong Yamcha for what Yamcha is. So I was like, see, look, the potential. Alright, so that being said, after the whole isekai thing, I was like, damn, bro's even more OP now. Freaking slime sword and slime bodysuit are crazy.
Yeah.
Right? He still gives off serial killer vibes because he looks like he enjoys killing these people even though they're bandits and bad guys. Alright? I am digging the whole new magical world and the vibes that it gives off and even though I'm not a big isekai fan, I'm still liking this one a lot so far.
Yeah, I really...
These next ones are me reacting as things happened. Oh, that blob thing was Alpha the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh wait, did he accidentally make her? Question mark?
She was a blob, and he
experimented on her with magic.
Her, yeah.
But so the thing I'm confused on is because they didn't really imply, like, it's both implied that he either A, made her like that by accident, or B, she was actually a person that was turned into a blob. That. Yeah, and that even though he's lying, Soet thinks he's lying. Right? That he might actually be telling the truth with these lies that he thinks he's making up, is what I'm starting to think. Okay?
Yeah.
So... Well, let me get back, because my thing scrolled up from where I was in my notes. Hold on, I gotta scroll back down. Bodysuit... Okay.
Wait until you get the fucking 5, bro.
Yo! Was she cursed by Diablos? Being descendants of the 3 heroes, is he making it all up? Oh, he's definitely making it all up on the spot. Because that's when I saw him look at the bottle and then come up with the name Cult of Diablos. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's making all this shit up. And I said I'm slightly concerned about him, because he straight up just said that he was making up it on the spot after. I was like, oh, he's definitely making it up on the spot.
Yeah.
Like, he straight up told everybody, so I was slightly concerned about that. But I'm like, what is his exact goal? It definitely has me invested. I like the name Shadow Garden when he came up with the name of his group. And then I was like, oh, he was only 10 years old? Whenever he created Alpha? Or saved Alpha, whatever he did. Because then it does this 3-year skip jump. And then he says, yeah, I'm now currently 13. I was like, bro, this is the first time you've mentioned your age this whole time. It's like I had to do some fucking quick math.
When you watch more Eminence and Shadow, get prepared before you watch episode 5.
Alright, I'm I'm gonna be prepared. I'm taking more notes as we
Just
go.
be prepared. His fucking dialogue into his like most powerful move is insane.
That's fucking crazy. So, I got to where he was training with his sister. My question about that was he messing it up on purpose? Because it seemed like he had the skill and was like stopping before he'd make contact with her and then pulling it off to try to make her think that he sucked. Alright? So that had me questioning thing. I can see that the whole thing he's been doing is all a ruse, like trying to make people think he's weak. I've seen that they said he has to attend a Dark Knight Academy, and his sister seemed very strong. So I feel like he set her up to get kidnapped, or she was in on it. She seemed like she was too strong to actually get kidnapped by those guys, but then it turned out she really did get kidnapped. That was weird. It was like, it didn't look like she struggled all that much. Like the person would have to be stronger than her, and she looked like she was super freaking strong. So I'm curious about like what she's gonna go and be like. All right. I do like that that he goes by Shadow. I'm wondering if he himself is trying to make the cult that he is fighting, or faking this existence of, and then having this group fight, if they're real. Or if, like, he thinks they're not real, keeps making up these stories about them, but they're turning out to be real. So those are my theories so far. Alright. And then I have the note, so he has an army of anime baddies called Shadow Guard.
Yes, he does.
I was like, whoa, was the cult that he made up actually real? See? The fights so far are really badass. I like that.
Yeah.
Bro started teaching the guy how to fight just to start flexing on him harder. Thought that shit was hilarious. I'm wondering if the cult of Diablos is one of those we're bad for good reasons type tropes. Not that I'm against that. I have that same trope in my story that I've been writing. Alright. I'm wondering if he's accidentally being a villain while trying to be a hero, or if he's actually being a hero. Really just need to know more about the cult of Diablos, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if the guy that he killed's daughter will be relevant again, because they had this whole slow scene of him getting cut, and thinking about her, and then the pendant opening up and showing her picture. Alright. I should have put a note on what her name was. I'll have to rewind to that before I start episode 3, just in case she does become relevant again. Right?
Yeah.
And then I was really confused, because at the end, he's sitting there all set up like he's about to go on a voyage, and then he turns around and all his anime baddies have to leave for some reason, and the episode ends. They all just say, oh, we have to leave you now, and then the episode ends. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm definitely excited for episode 3, but I do have some qualms with the anime, and like how some of the voice acting is kind of flat in some parts, but like for the most part they have like a pretty decent cast of voice actors. I do mostly watch things in Japanese, so like some dubs don't really hit well with me, and that could just be the case for this, but I am going to continue to watch it, and I think I will indeed, because I am enjoying this so much, watch it in Japanese after and give us a comparison on one of the podcasts of the Japanese like voice acting versus the English voice acting, seeing if the jokes change or anything, because I'm loving the jokes so far. But you know, jokes change usually whenever you get to a dub versus the original language.
Yeah.
Because they have to try to make it hit for the people on both sides. But I am definitely excited for episode 3 and have a section ready for episode 3's notes already. Alright, Cat.
All I gotta say, Delta's my favorite.
Oh yeah? See, I haven't met any of, like, I've seen them all, but as far as names, I've only seen, I only know which one is Alpha and which one is Beta so far. Those are the only two
Alpha
names
and Beta
I've
are
seen.
in elves.
Yeah. So, Alpha, you know...
Until you see Delta, you know why I like her.
Gotcha. See, like I said, I've seen Alpha, and then I've seen Beta whenever she was glazing him about the strategy he was coming up with, and he said that she's a great actress. You know, stuff like that. But so far, I'm really enjoying it, and I can't wait to freaking watch more. I'm definitely gonna get into it.
Season 2 is crazy, by the way.
Yeah. to get into it. And at some point, when we start getting more caught up on things, we'll start talking about more current seasonal animes and stuff. We'll start trying to keep up on some of that stuff.
I need to rewatch Eminence Shadow because.
But both of us do need to get caught up in things. I was saying I need to rewatch freaking Horizons because I was like, man, I was really like, if I wasn't listening to it while you were watching it, I wouldn't have known what you hadn't seen already. To help give good back and forth. But I don't know. What did you think about my notes so far?
They were interesting indeed.
Yeah, I told you I had a lot. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about before we end the podcast, though?
No, I think that's all I've been wanting to talk about, yeah.
Yeah, alright. We'll try to have more notes for next week. We did have a lot to do, especially Cat. He had to go do a lot of stuff to, help with his family. They're in the process of moving from New Mexico to Kansas, so a lot of work involved in that. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I'm Damionpyro.
I'm ChillenCat.
And this has been our Nerd Talk Live podcast.
Woo!